Welcome to the TokyoBill Weekly Update, an end-of-week news brief on events in and around Japan. Today is July 13th, 2024. Japan and the Philippines have signed a defense pact called the Reciprocal Access Agreement, allowing Japanese forces to participate in joint military exercises in the Philippines and Filipino forces to enter Japan for combat training. This agreement aims to enhance defense cooperation between the two countries in response to China's growing assertiveness in the region. Japan, led by Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, is improving its security capabilities, while the Philippines is strengthening its alliances to protect its interests in the South China Sea. The United States, a treaty ally of both countries, has reiterated its commitment to defend them both amidst recent confrontations between Chinese and Philippine vessels. The Tokyo Fire Department reported that 119 people in the Tokyo metropolitan region were hospitalized for heat stroke on Saturday, with ages ranging from 2 to 99. More than half of those affected were over 70 years old. 3 individuals in their 70s to 90s were still in serious condition on Sunday. The department advised residents to stay hydrated, avoid outdoor activities during peak heat, and use air conditioning indoors to prevent heat-related illnesses. Tokyo Governor Yurika Koike secured her third term in the gubernatorial election, addressing issues like rising costs and declining birth rates. She aims to combat the latter by expanding free childcare services. Koike highlighted the need for digital transformation and better empowerment for women, pledging to enhance Tokyo's progress. Her achievements in office were emphasized during her campaign. With widespread support from the Liberal Democratic Party and Komeito, Koike defeated 55 competitors with nearly 3 million votes. Shinji Ishimaru and Renho were notable contenders in the race. A recent fiscal assessment of Japan's pension system revealed that the number of foreign residents in the country directly impacts pension benefits. As of 2023, there were 3.4 million foreign nationals in Japan, with permanent residents and technical intern trainees being the largest groups. The assessment predicted a continued net inflow of foreigners with uncertainties such as birth rates and foreign influx potentially impacting the income replacement ratio. The assessment presented 3 scenarios with efforts to encourage more foreign residents to enroll in the public pension system for long-term living in Japan ongoing. And finally, for soybean lovers, the Niigata Edamame Mori Festival in Tokyo on Sunday, July 14th will showcase different types of edamame from Niigata Prefecture, known for its cultivation of over 40 varieties of the immature soybeans. Attendees can sample edamame served in a bamboo colander and taste 10 kinds of sake and 15 local foods from Niigata. The festival will also host the preliminary rounds of the 7th World Edamame Speed Eating Championships, where participants will compete to consume the most edamame within 100 seconds for a chance to advance to the finals in Nagaoka, Niigata Prefecture. A Chinese man has been arrested for buying spray paint used to vandalize a Japanese shrine with the word toilet, sparking outrage in Japan. The incident at the Yasukuni Shrine, dedicated to the country's war dead, even led to one Tokyo businessman offering a reward to catch those responsible. The suspects, including one referring to himself in an online video as Ironhead, urinated on a pillar and caused damage amounting to $26,000 US. The shrine has been a point of contention between Japan, China, and South Korea, with visits by Japanese officials often causing diplomatic tensions due to its association with war crimes. The Consumer Affairs Agency has issued a warning about a surge in automated telephone scams from overseas numbers claiming to be NTT, demanding unpaid fees. Victims have been tricked into making substantial payments with an average loss of 2.4 million yen per victim. Scammers use North American phone numbers starting with area code 1 or IP phone numbers starting with 050. They claim unpaid fees for membership sites like Syria or Vanilla and threaten legal action or offer fake refunds. The agency advises people to ignore unfamiliar payment requests and not disclose prepaid card numbers, and to consult hotlines before taking action. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation will be reducing transfer fees for individual customers starting in October. The fee reduction will apply to ATM transfers using a cash card to another SMBC account, lowering the fee from 110 yen to free. The changes will also affect internet banking and over-the-counter services for individual transfers. This fee review is the first since 2018 and is aimed at attracting more deposits to SMBC by reducing fees in response to higher market rates and expected interest income following the lifting of negative interest rates. As LGBTQ couples in Japan cannot legally marry, they opt for photo weddings in traditional attire to celebrate their relationships. These ceremonies are often kept private due to societal stigma, despite growing public support and court rulings deeming the current laws unconstitutional. Photo wedding studio One Style has been offering these services since 2015, with a small LGBTQ clientele. Despite facing criticism and pressure, some couples cherish these tangible memories of love. Progress is being made through legislation promoting LGBTQ understanding, but true acceptance and equality are still far off in Japanese society. In fiscal 2028, Walt Disney plans to launch a new cruise ship from Tokyo in partnership with Oriental Land Company, the operator of Tokyo Disneyland, as part of a $60 billion U.S. expansion project. Modeled after the largest vessel in the fleet, Wish, the new ship will accommodate 4,000 passengers and will target Japanese guests and families. Disney aims to capitalize on the high demand for its brand in Japan. The success of Disney's cruise lines could help offset any challenges in the domestic theme park business, as Disney continues to invest in new attractions worldwide. A Japanese high court approved a gender change for a transgender woman without surgery, deeming the surgery requirement potentially unconstitutional. The petitioner, who underwent hormone therapy, challenged the law that mandates surgery for gender change, such as testicle removal. This rare approval challenges the 2004 law, which includes conditions like gender dysphoria diagnosis and genital appearance. Legal experts see this ruling pushing the government to reconsider surgery requirements. Japan is making strides in LGBTQ rights, but as this ruling only affects the petitioner in this case, it highlights the ongoing need for LGBTQ rights advancement in Japan. Mario Kart enthusiasts visiting Tokyo have long enjoyed the services of Street Kart, previously known as Mari-Car. Despite legal battles and safety concerns, the company rebranded and survived the global health crisis lockdown. Custom-made go-karts prioritize safety, but accidents involving foreign drivers worry locals. Despite controversy, Street Kart is popular with tourists, requiring advanced bookings. Locals express safety concerns and doubt its future, especially after an unsuccessful fundraising campaign. Street Kart has adapted by offering safety measures and costumes that don't infringe on Nintendo's copyrights. The future is uncertain, but the attraction continues to draw visitors seeking a real-life Mario Kart experience in Tokyo. The Japan Ministry of Defense approved the purchase of Lockheed Martin's AGM-158B JASSM-ER missiles for the Japan Air Self-Defense Force's F-15Js to improve their standoff defense capabilities. This $104 million foreign military sales package includes 50 JASSM-ER missiles and training equipment. The JASSM is a popular air-launched standoff weapon for land strikes, with Poland and Finland also acquiring the ER, or Extended Range, variant. The Japan Air Self-Defense Forces F-15Js can now conduct standoff strikes in various battlefield scenarios, enhancing Japan's defense against potential threats from China, Russia, and North Korea. Japan will provide Ukraine with 4 large demining vehicles through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to help with demining and disposal of unexploded ordnance, ensuring the safety of residents and rebuilding infrastructure. The delivery is expected by the end of the year, with a training course on demining for Ukrainian employees. Japan and Ukraine have a 10-year security agreement, with $4.5 billion in aid from Tokyo in 2024. Japanese law restricts providing Ukraine with only non-lethal equipment. The partnership reflects Japan's commitment to supporting Ukraine and enhancing security cooperation between the two countries. The 4 major Japanese beer makers saw their share of beer in total sales exceed 50% for the first time in 16 years in the first half of 2024 due to tax cuts. The share of beer reached 54% of total sales of beer, quasi-beer, and third segment beer during the January to June period. Sales of beer had been declining since the introduction of low-priced third segment beer in 2005, but a 7% increase in beer sales volume was seen in the 6-month period following the tax cuts. Sales of third segment beer decreased by 21% due to a shrinking price gap with beer. Japan's Supreme Court overturned a lower court ruling in favor of the Unification Church in a 65 million yen damages lawsuit over donations solicited by the religious group. The case was sent back to Tokyo High Court, marking the top court's first ruling on donation solicitations by the controversial group. The lawsuit, filed by the daughter of a deceased believer, involved a memorandum stating no lawsuit would be filed for the return of donations, which the court deemed invalid. This ruling is expected to impact other donation cases involving similar documents. The lawsuit originated from the now deceased church member creating a memorandum promising not to seek repayment of her donations, over 100 million yen, and later being diagnosed with dementia. A teacher in Osaka Prefecture received a 3-month suspension for coercing handball club members to get buzz cuts. The 48-year-old teacher was disciplined by the Toyonaka Municipal Board of Education for actions taken 3 years ago. The teacher forced late students to shave their heads, claiming it was a traditional punishment. He also misused funds collected from members for away games. The teacher denied forcing students to shave their heads, stating they did so voluntarily. Another teacher, a visiting coach, received a pay cut for causing emotional distress to students who wanted to leave the club. The school board apologized for the incidents and promised to prevent such behavior in the future. Tokyo police arrested 2 Vietnamese nationals for stealing high-end sports bicycles to sell in Vietnam. The 2 admitted to stealing 2 bicycles worth 80,000 yen from a man's home in Tokyo. The suspects, involved in about 70 luxury bicycle theft cases, used tools to destroy locks and sold the stolen bicycles in Vietnam. They traveled to Japan multiple times with short-term visas and stayed in an office in Toshima Ward. The police targeted them after they were seen on security camera footage near theft sites. A Japanese maritime self-defense force destroyer entered Chinese territorial waters off Zhejiang province, causing concerns in Beijing. China suspects it was intentional, while Japan claims it was innocent passage. The Japanese Defense Ministry is investigating the ship's captain. Chinese sources say the entry violated their laws. This incident has strained Sino-Japanese relations already tense due to various issues, including disputes over treated radioactive water release. Despite efforts to stabilize relations, Chinese officials question Japan's motives and urge restraint to prevent escalating tensions. The incident raises legal questions about innocent passage for military vessels under the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, yet relations have been slow to improve despite agreements. Video game publisher Ubisoft apologized for using a Japanese historical reenactment group's flag in concept art for Assassin's Creed Shadows without permission. The company admitted to using the flag in 2 pieces of art without authorization and issued an apology to the Sekigahara Teppotai reenactment group. Fans noticed the flag's identical recreation in the concept art for the Japan set Assassin's Creed, leading to the flag's owner posting his concerns on X. Ubisoft has promised not to use the associated artwork except for the already printed physical art book in the collector's edition of Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game was fully revealed in May 2024, featuring 2 protagonists set in Japan's historical backdrop. The Japanese yen saw a significant 3% increase on Thursday, marking its largest daily surge since late 2022. This was attributed to official buying to bolster a currency currently at 38-year lows. The US dollar weakened following lower than expected consumer inflation figures in June. Speculation arose about Japanese intervention due to the rapid movement of the yen, with reports indicating government involvement in the currency market. Analysts linked the rise to options-related activity and the possibility of a Federal Reserve rate cut. Investors had been offloading the yen to capitalize on the interest rate differential between the United States and Japan. The yen's strength impacted the dollar and carried trade opportunities. SoftBank has acquired Graphcore, a British AI chip maker, in a deal reportedly worth $600 million. Making Graphcore a subsidiary of SoftBank. This acquisition is part of SoftBank's expansion into the UK tech scene, following the controversial purchase of British chip designer ARM in 2016. Despite being acquired for less than its total funding raised, Graphcore will continue to operate under its own name and maintain its UK headquarters and other offices. Graphcore's key products is its intelligence processing units designed for AI workloads, along with software to support developers. Although Graphcore has struggled financially, SoftBank sees its technology as essential for advancing artificial intelligence, especially in the pursuit of artificial general intelligence. The acquisition provides Graphcore with resources for expansion and positions both companies to capitalize on the growing demand for AI hardware. Just 47 countries are planning to build their pavilions for the 2025 Osaka Kansai Expo, a decrease from the initial estimate of 60. Some countries initially planning Type A pavilions will now use Japan's designs due to time constraints and rising construction costs. The Expo Association proposed using Type X or C pavilions to speed up construction. 47 countries are confirmed to participate with Type A pavilions, while others have opted for Type X or C pavilions. Mexico, Russia, and Argentina have withdrawn, but Colombia and the Vatican have decided to join with Type A pavilions. Japan Expo in Paris is hosting 900 exhibitors this year with a focus on promoting Osaka 2025 World Expo. The event is a popular convention for Japanese pop culture in Europe, providing a platform for fans to explore the latest manga, souvenirs, and technologies. Osaka, the Japan Expo's City of the Year, will host the World Expo in 2025, showcasing innovation and collaboration from countries worldwide. Visitors can expect traditional food, culture, and the latest technologies like flying cars and AI translation systems at the Osaka Expo. France's pavilion at the Expo promises an immersive experience including French food and culture, and a tapestry depicting a scene from the anime film Princess Mononoke, which will also be featured. The Japanese Defense Ministry has disciplined 218 members, including senior staff, for misconduct, with reprimands issued on Friday being highly unusual. The actions deemed inappropriate include mishandling of classified information, fraudulent receipt of allowances for diving training, consumption of free meals by ineligible personnel, and power harassment. The ministry found 58 cases of mishandling confidential data in the self-defense forces, with 38 vessels in the Maritime Self-Defense Force affected. Additionally, 62 Maritime Self-Defense Force personnel, including senior staff, received over $270,000 in diving allowances without actually diving. Defense Minister Kihara Minoru plans to reform the Marine Self-Defense Forces, with Admiral Sakai Ryo being replaced as Chief of Staff on July 19th.
This has been the Tokyo Bill Weekly Update. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.